Great. Okay, beauties. Welcome to practice, and thank you for being here. This will be a restorative practice to reset our nervous system. And, there is a lot of anxiety on a global scale right now, and I'm smiling, but there's a lot of things that have become more stressful in work life for some. Both my children work at restaurants, and definitely things have gotten more stressful and all of that. And, our job here is to kind of assimilate, let things move through, and to find a way to be like the card I chose, the first card, the Fool card, to be at peace with what is happening around you and to just be content with even in spaces of discontent. We have to find that place. So even that other card I said where it says embrace life's pains as deeply as its joys. So we'll move into a restorative practice, and we're going to start with just setting up. And so I'm going to have you have let's Om first. Om first, because we're here. Okay, I have had it mapped out differently, but it's all fine. I'm just going to go here. So start with your palms up, sit on something as you need to, change the cross of your legs, do all of that, whatever you need to be comfortable here. And to allow yourself to exhale, close your eyes, drop into your space. And just inviting in gentle quality to your breath. Feel your shoulders drop and your heart lift. And we're going to move into simple mudra here, and we'll take the index finger and you're just going to curl it into the base of your thumb. So wherever it goes, so nice and a little smaller than when we just touch the tip. Just bring it in. And then let the other fingers curl in so the thumb can just rest on the edge of the middle finger. Yeah. Just dropping in again if you've opened your eyes. Taking a nice full breath in as you inhale. And as you exhale, open your mouth, maybe make a noise. Let the shoulders drop. And inhale. Exhale. And one more like that. Nice full inhale. And exhale. And releasing the mudra. Stretch your hands open and place the palms down on your thighs, your knees. And lengthening yourself tall and dropping your chin towards your heart. Roll your shoulders back and down your back. Soften your jaw, your eyes. And as you inhale, gently feel that elongate yourself, lift your chin, and do one noisy exhale. And as you inhale now, bring your palms together in front of your heart space. And exhale again here. And we'll open and chant Om together 3 times. Inhale. your chin. Release your hands to your thighs. Lift your chin and open your eyes. Okay, great. All right, so we're just gonna set up, and I feel like we're gonna use the same setup the whole practice. And so I'm gonna take my bolster, and I'll have the end of the bolster kind of in the middle of my mat. And then you'll either use blankets or blocks to create for yourself this little, like a nice little slope here. So I might throw in another block down here and then use that blanket. But you could also do 2 blocks or 2 blankets, yogi's choice. Good. And then once you set yourself up with this, then I'm going to take another blanket down here. I'm going to open it up. Let's see. I'm actually going to open it up to its folded halfway place and fold that in half. So it's like this shape. I don't know if you'll be able to see, but let's see. I'm going to put this down just at the bottom of this bolster. And so it extends out quite a bit on either side of my mat. And I'll just use my hands to kind of smooth out any, wrinkles in the blankets. And then I'll have another blanket nearby to wrap myself up with. So we'll do that in a moment. And then once you have this set up, we're actually going to start with just a downward dog, just for a few breaths, just to kind of get your head on the bolster, hopefully, to drop the head below the heart. You get upside down, stretch your legs. So you come to your hands and knees, and I'll have the front part of the bolster kind of close to my chest here, so that when I lift myself up and back, I can tuck my chin and maybe rest the head on the bolster. If that feels like it's too low, then just, come down, put a blanket on top of your bolster and go again. And just see if you can support your head. And then feel free to, move your legs, your hips. And then just kind of find your place to settle in. Take your time. And once you have your head supported, allow the skin of the forehead to be pulled down towards the nose. So it's not pulling up. That's energizing for the brain. And we want to start to soften ourselves and be here. So just resting here and for a few more breaths. Just kind of finding a way to rest into your downward dog. Explore little movements. You maybe shift the hips from side to side, or just be still. Maybe breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. And then as you're ready, you'll come down, and we're just going to move into child's pose. So I'll sit with my knees on either side of the bolster, and then I have this out part of the blanket. Maybe Hart, can you just turn the camera a little bit towards me? Oh, that's good. Yeah, perfect. That's good. Okay, now I'm going to take these ends of the blanket, and I'm just going to put each end over the shin. The calf, sorry, this is your calf. And to just kind of give myself some support here. And then you can come down, and if you want to put something else, we're going to be there for not so long, but you might want to even put a little cushion or another blanket under your tush if you like. Then I'm going to take this other blanket. That's a lot of stuff, but it'll be worth it. I'm going to take this other blanket, and I've opened it up to its halfway, and I'm just going to wrap it right underneath my, to the underarms. So I can wrap it around. So it'll keep, you feel cocooned and a little safe here. Okay, we're going to move into lying on the bolster. So I have this other blanket, a lot of blankets, and I might move it down. I might kind of crumple it up. You kind of find a way so that you feel really supported here. Or you could take that blanket leg on top. You might not even need it. Just use your blankets as much as you can to make yourself comfortable. Are you comfortable? Comfortable. Yeah, go get one blankets. Yeah. So take your time. You're embarking it hard to go get more blankets. Like, take your time to make it nice, or more pillows. You can put a pillow underneath each. Yeah, good. So take your time, make it nice, and once you're in it, we'll have one cheek on the bolster, so you'll be facing to one side. And then the hands can just rest comfortably. You might even, if you have more blankets, you can put a blanket underneath each each forearm here. And I have the backs of my hands resting, palms facing up. And I feel very comfortable. So I'm just going to stay here. Take your time. Okay. Use your props. Like heart, you can't see him now, but he's beside me, readjusting. And, you learn a lot when you take the time to really baby yourself. Okay, if you're using blocks under your bolster, they're not that far apart. They're maybe like an inch or two apart. Pull the bolster in more. Pick it up and bring it in right between. Bolster should be right between your knees. Yeah. Another blanket. I think you need another blanket on your between your tongue, like just on top of the bolster. Okay, so if we're in the same room, I'd be instructing all of you too. Is that better? Okay. Just drop in with your breath. Allow these places to gently unwind themselves. And if that's, not happening and you think you need to press up and back for downward dog and then come back in, give yourself permission to do that. We're just going to change the side of our face. So as you inhale, you just lift your head, and as you exhale, turn and place the opposite cheek down. And again, take your time. If something doesn't feel right and you need more props, then offer that. Notice if your teeth are touching. Can you soften your lower jaw? Let the mouth be more relaxed. Just feeling your breath. Moving all the way to your low back. Just noticing as you inhale the parts of you that fill, and as you exhale, the parts of you can let go. Into the heart, the shoulders, even the hips, the knees, the jaw, the shoulders. So we're going to take a little break from this. And so you'll either press yourself up and back to your downward facing dog, just let your props move, or you can just bring yourself up to sitting You kind of sneak your legs out and just extend them out on either side. So either one, just a way to kind of stretch your legs out and just maybe keep your eyes closed and just start to feel that shift of energy. Okay, whatever you've chosen, downward dog or sitting, just be there, or come out if you need to. Okay, and then downward dog, people, you're just going to sit down with your legs on either side of your bolsters, just exactly as it is. Now this blanket that we put at the bottom of the bolster, I might just kind of bring it underneath my knees and my thighs here, just a little bit of support. And that blanket I had wrapped around my back, I'm going to bring that back in and just kind of wrap it. Now we're going to come forward here, and I know, like, bringing anywhere forward here might not be accessible to rest yourself on your bolster. So be where you are. If you can find a way to prop your head, that's great. If not, that's okay too. You honor your place where you are. And then take your time and move into this slowly. So you can start upright. And you start to slowly walk your hands forward, and you find a little bit of place there. And take your time. And then as you start to soften, the body will invite you in more deeply if that's a place. I should also say that I am sitting on a cushion here that I did have like in my place for child's pose. So you need to sit on something, throw something underneath your hips and support yourself. And just find your version here of forward fold. If you are, able to come forward enough to turn your head to one side, that's where you would go. But otherwise, be in your own place here. And softening your jaw. And we're using this pose to open the hips, open the pelvic floor, to open the backs of the legs, to ground ourselves. So much of you touching the earth here. Even the support you have with the bolster and anything else you're using. It's that same idea of being with the inhalation where it fills you, and the exhale to where it releases. Noticing if your teeth are touching and maybe creating some space in your mouth for the tongue to rest, jaw. Feel into your hands. If you're clenching it all, soften. If you are forward folding with your head turned one way, then now just lifting your head up and turning it the opposite way. And settling back in. Notice tension in the shoulders. Let it drop. And tuning into the parts of you touching the earth and open to the earth. Receive that grounding energy. And feeling the legs heavy, and the backs of your knees open, and the whole pelvic floor softening to the earth. Yes. We'll move into our final few moments here. Give yourself permission to just really release any tension in the legs, the hips, and softening the jaw. As you're ready, just gently using your hands to walk yourself upright. We'll just take a few moments here just to be. You can keep your eyes closed and just receive. Okay, I'm just going to re-straighten out this blanket here, and we're going to come back into child's pose. So if you'd like to, take a downward dog or do whatever you need to do to adjust yourself into this, I'm just going to re-straighten this out. And, okay, so you're welcome to do a downward dog if you like, or just come right in. So knees either side. And I take these little blankets. I'm just going to wrap each half. And I'm sitting on a little cushion. It could be whatever you like. And I'll wrap myself up and find whatever you have here and come back in a comfortable way. So really take your time. If it wasn't comfortable at the beginning, you might feel better now. That's always fun to kind of revisit poses right away and say, oh yeah, all those things I was aware of before are better now. Take your time. And see if you can release more deeply through your heart and your hips, your hands, your jaw. And if you need to make any adjustments, do that. And there's nothing worse than just saying, okay, I'll just suffer through until it's over. No, make it comfortable. Maybe you need to pull the bolster in a little closer. And if you have your head turned one way, now turn it the other way. So just remind you that we are changing the blood flow in the hips and the knees and the ankle joints. And we're lubricating the joints with this pose. If that helps you to soften and to be in, that place of a little bit of discomfort, and receive it. And I'm just moving into our final few moments. Really drop in through the heart, the hips, the hands. And then to come out, you might also, come up to your hands and knees and take a downward dog, or you might just sneak one leg out at a time and just come back to the legs extended on either side of the bolster. Okay, whatever you choose, keep it soft. So your eyes closed or half closed. Move if you need your downward dog, you need to pedal your legs or whatever you need. You're sitting, massage your legs or flex and point your feet a few times. That will also just encourage the blood flow to come back. Okay, and then we're going to come back into this wide-legged forward fold. So take your time. Again, I'm going to grab these little ends of this blanket here and just kind of put it underneath my knees, my thighs. Make it like a sweet little sit. And then you can adjust. If you remember how you had your props last time, and it's all good. Say again, if you don't fold that far forward, that's a-okay. Just keep your head soft, your jaw soft, and just receive. Bring yourself down to wherever you go. Again, I'm sitting on something. Full disclosure, that does help you tip a little bit forward. And just drop into your place. And just bringing yourself back to the first forward fold and noticing maybe a little bit more ease, hopefully. It's coming back to all those little touchstones of releasing yourself to the earth. If you need a blanket underneath your heels, if they're not comfortable, take a moment to do that. Or socks or whatever you have. It's being in the flow of your breath, the inhale filling you, and the exhale releasing. It's bringing in that curiosity of a child, sort of discovering and rediscovering the world around them. And here you're discovering and rediscovering your inner world, your body's flexibilities, and where you feel you are limited. But yet the more you practice these poses, the more the body unfolds. Like laying fertile ground. And releasing any limiting beliefs. And if you have your head resting in one direction now, pick it up and turn it. Rest it in the opposite. And take our final few moments here. Releasing a little more deeply in towards the earth. your entire pelvic floor, pelvic bowl, your hips, the backs of your legs, your open knees, and your open heart. And then as you're ready, press up, and just going to sit for a moment here. But again, if you'd like to do downward facing dog, take your time and do that. Otherwise, just be here, breathe with your eyes closed. Just feeling this shift and reset in your energy. Okay. And then we're going to move into Baddha Konasana. So I'm just going to come off, move myself back. And this blanket that I've set up here, I'm just going to leave it here. Again, I'll just smooth it out. So I'll sit on it. Okay. We'll turn around. And you'll sit on the floor with the back of the bolster here. And I have this blanket. I'm just going to turn it so it'll support my head here. Right now, you might want to grab your eye pillow, which are always out of reach. Okay. So I'll just have the eye pillow set right beside me, so it'll be there and ready. And I'm also going to take my essential oil, just put it on. I love those. Okay. So from here, we're going to have the soles of the feet together. And I have this other blanket here, and I'm just going to turn just so you can see what I'm going to do. I'm going to put the soles of the feet together. I'm going to take this blanket, and it was folded in half. It's just nice and long. It's going to go over top of the ankles, and then I'm just going to pull it through here. Okay, so I just put it over top, pulled it underneath, and I'm just going to do that because I have this other blanket here underneath me. And I'll just roll these up and in to support my thighs here. So if that's not enough support for you, you know, if you have blocks, you can always throw them in, or, you know, pillows, extra blankets, anything. Make it nice so you don't feel any pulling in your glute. And then take the hands back. I'm actually going to lift my hips for a moment. I pull the tailbone forward and then come back. So I'm actually more on my sacrum as I come to lie back. And I'll adjust the support underneath my head. If you have extra blankets or anything handy, you could also put like a support for your arms. And if you have shoulder stuff, then that will be really nice. And then once you feel settled, if you have another blanket to cover yourself, then that might be the other thing I would add. And then your eye pillow. And so just find a place where you feel supported along the whole length of your torso. So if you're using blocks, one thing I see quite common is that the block under the heart isn't in the right place and the heart collapses. So we want to have a lifted heart. If you don't feel your heart lifting, then come back up and readjust underneath your bolster. Rolled blankets, another block. Again, the blocks are not that far apart between the head and the heart. They're maybe an inch or 2 inches apart. Okay. I'm trusting that you are very comfortable and you feel very supported. So once I'm in it, I like to take my hands and just kind of smooth down from my ribs, over the belly, and down each thigh. Just a couple times, you know, just to bring your touch in, and a little bit of your massage. And then you can rest back. And here we are. Softening any place you're still holding tension. The shoulders, the jaw, the belly, pelvic floor. Let's really invite yourself to let go and drop in. Be very present to your own inner world and places that need to be softened to receive what's being offered right now. Just notice how you feel right now, and if you feel very softened and relaxed, then I encourage you to stay as you are a little longer. And when you feel ready, then you're just going to extend your legs straight out, and they don't have to touch, they can be apart. And once again, just receiving this offer of groundedness, of being held and supported. And once you have extended your legs, and just dropping in again. And after about 10 breaths or so with the legs extended, and just rebend them, and hopefully you'll be able to just slip into your support without too much adjustment. So come back into Baddha Konasana with the feet together and the knees open. Really softening yourself all the way down to the whole pelvic floor, opening, softening. So we're going to prepare to come out, and remove the props you have underneath your thighs, and perhaps you'll just go straight over to roll to the fetal position. Conscious you're on a height as you come off the bolster. Just rest for a moment on the floor. You can hold your eye pillow. Hopefully the props aren't too much of a hindrance And just come into rest here in the fetal for like 1 to 3 breaths. And then whenever you're ready, you'll just come up as if, we're coming out of Shavasana. And take your time. So really take your time. I'm just going to do this next pose, and you'll come in whenever you do. So if you have another blanket on the end of your bolster, you're going to take it off. And just place it, by where your feet were, so you know where it is. Okay, then I'm going to take a blanket to cover myself. So I'm just going to bring that over here. So I'm going to have this blanket down low. I have another one here for my head should I need it. Okay, and then what we're going to do, you're actually going to come to sit. I'm just going to readjust. I'm going to sit right on the top part of this bolster here. And then I'm going to lie back. So I get a bit of a supported upside down. Okay, so I do the same thing. I lift my tail and I come more onto the sacrum. And then as I come down, I hit perfect. I want to feel the whole back of the heart and shoulders on the floor. Now you might not need a blanket for your head. So, it's there if you need it. I'm going to take that other blanket and just cover myself up. It's not cold, but there is something very lovely to covering yourself up and just having the weight of the blanket. So my legs are bent. I'm going to keep them bent. You're welcome to straighten if you wish. I just want you to feel here that the heart is above the head. And then if your eye pillow is handy, and you can put it back on. And then I'm just going to drop in here. In this version of upside down, your inversion. Okay, if you feel your forehead is higher than your chin, then put that blanket underneath your head. Otherwise, sometimes just lifting the head, tucking the chin in, putting it down might be just enough. Resting in your stillness. And with your breath. Okay, so just in case you're not sure, as I felt, rolled onto it, my tush is now in the center of the bolster. So it doesn't stay up to the top. It might for you. I just don't want you to worry too much about that. It's just that the heart is higher than the forehead. And you can rest into this great offering of softening for your busy mind. Softening your eyes, your ears, bringing all of those senses into your inner world here. Release any tension that you're holding in the back of your head, in the back of your heart, the sides of your neck. Allow this part of you now to receive the support of the earth, to drop in. So you don't have to carry that weight behind your shoulders, your head, your jaw right now. You can just let it go. Just releasing yourself more deeply as we move into our final few moments here. Okay, so take your time. The two ways to come out of this is just to roll yourself off onto your side, or you might even just wiggle yourself forward until you feel your hips come off the bolster and your back is on the floor. You might use your hands to help push the bolster away. And then if you do that, you push yourself forward, you might even be able to lay your legs over your bolster for a few moments. So if you're in the fetal position, bless me, Ganesh me. If you're in the fetal position, stay there for a few moments. And then you might just bring yourself into Shavasana, or you can look and see where I'm at, and you could do the same. So just lying on the floor, whole torso on the floor. And then my legs are up over this bolster, and I have this blanket. I could even wrap my legs up a little bit. Just lift the legs up and wrap the blanket around the back, and let them rest on the bolster, and that will kind of hold them in place. So if that works for you, great. And if it doesn't, then just set yourself up in Shavasana. If you like that, any of the poses we did, you want that to be your Shavasana, that's fine too. And then we'll just rest here. Just integrating everything you've cultivated in this last hour. Softening your third eye and your eyes, your jaw, your heart, your pelvic floor, your legs, your feet, and your hands. Scanning and noticing these places of tension that creep in. Dropping in, releasing, resetting more deeply. If you choose to stay in your rest, that's beautiful. And if you're ready to come out, that's fine too. Just making very gentle, slow movements as you gently awaken your body. Again, you'll find a way, to move into the fetal position. If you want to bend your knees and rest your feet on your bolster for a few moments, or hug your knees into your chest for a few moments. Very nourishing for the back and so much else. Just going to your side. Whenever you're ready, we'll just meet up and seated. If you choose to not even get up, that's fine too. I deeply honor that. So if you do come up, we'll just take a few moments to just feel your energy, your nervous system. Feel into what you have created and recreated for yourself. Bringing your hands together in front of your heart and bowing down with deep reverence for all that is, for your own creativity, powers of forgiveness, and the power within you to cultivate joy no matter what is happening, to find the strength and the joy in your own experience. As you bow your chin, take the whole length of your thumbs up and rest it along the center of your forehead. Draw the skin of the forehead down. Soften your shoulders, your jaw, and give reverence and honoring and gratitude for yourself, for your space, and for being here in this practice with us tonight. As you inhale, use your thumbs to lift your head, and as you exhale, the hands come back down in front of the heart. And we'll seal this practice as we do with our May We Be Blessed mantra. And so we'll just make space for within. We'll inhale. May we be blessed with loving kindness. May we be well. May we be peaceful and at ease. May we be healthy and may we be happy. And we'll seal that with one Om together. Inhale. And bow your chin. Take a nice big breath. Blow it into your hands. Catch your breath, lift your chin, and namaste, my friends. Namaste. Namaste, buddy. Hey, thank you. Thank you for being here, for playing yoga, and I hope that you will feel reset and recharged and ready for good night's sleep. So, thank you guys. Namaste.